Welcome to the road to 17-inch arms. It's been quite a while since I made one of these videos, about a year and a half to be exact, and a lot of shit's changed. I was about 4.5 pounds heavier then comparatively to now. So back then I was 183, right now I'm 178.4. I was eating about the same amount of calories, 3,500. I actually had slightly bigger arms then than I do now due to a fucking series of unfortunate events, but ultimately a nagging injury. So back in June of 2024, I was at a 16.25 inch arm. As of current, I have 16 inches on the left and 15.9 inches on the right. The right is a little bit smaller, but it's catching up comparably considering everything happened. My triceps kind of suffered because I ran into a snag with triceps tendonitis, and it lasted me, and I didn't even realize this until I was planning out this video, but it lasted me from June of 2025 all the way until just recently, really. So almost half a year of agony. Although in that time period, I feel as though my biceps have grown, and it's taught me to change the way I lift and to change the way I approach lifting. So I can't really complain about that because I'm learning, and I feel as though it will prepare me better for the future. My current split is a 2-day-a-week full body split, whereas back then I was doing upper lower bro, rest, because I was highly influenced by Jeffrey Verity Schofield. However, I don't think my body can just handle that much volume. It just gets fucked. So I've changed to 2 times a week full body, and for the last 20 weeks I've been injury free, thank the fucking Lord. My progression since the last time we spoke, I think, is pretty good, but you know, it's neither here or there. Some things are better and some things are worse. My incline curls back then at a 70-degree pitch was 25 pounds for 20 and 20. And now I'm doing incline curls with 30-degree bench incline for 12 and 11 at 35 pounds. So I've increased the load by 10 pounds. I know that the reps are not as high, but my control and my effort levels, I feel as though, are much better, especially in bicep motions. Back then, I was doing bicep curls with 35s for 15 and 8. I had a hell of a drop off. Now, I'm doing bicep blaster curls with 55 pounds for 8 reps for 2 sets. So that's pretty gangster if you ask me. My tricep pushdowns, those motherfuckers. I went from 70 pounds for 15 and 65 pounds for 15 to 100 pounds for 2 sets of 15. And then I ran into an injury, which was super fucking unfortunate, but it is what it is. You learn a lot from injuries, right? So I was horse cocking the weight around quite a bit. I was letting my shoulders have some natural flow and motion into it. I was watching, like I said, Jeffrey Verity Schofield at the time. I was pretty highly influenced by him, and no shame on him or no shade on him. It's just a fact of the time that I was in. But I had watched some stuff on him, and I've noticed he was not overly strict with certain techniques because he allowed himself to have some give. So I was allowing myself some give in the realm of tricep pushdowns, and it was feeling great for a long time. I progressed very nicely. I would get solid pumps. Everything would feel good in the triceps. And then one day I decided I wasn't going to do my normal proper warm-up, and I went for it. I got through the workout, but boy, oh boy, the day after, I just got royally fucked. I woke up, and it felt like a screwdriver was getting just jabbed straight through my fucking elbow. And to this day, I mean, there is still some slight tenderness to that area, but I couldn't put weight down on the bed to get up. I had to roll over and use my left arm to get up, and I had to baby it for quite a while. It wasn't until recently that I just started adding in some tricep isolations, and it's also had a huge damper on my bench press and everything like that. So the reason my arms are smaller now than they were then is largely in part to triceps development or lack thereof, whereas I feel as though my biceps have developed nicely. So once I get completely past this hurdle, I do feel as though I will have a much better chance at getting to that 17-inch mile marker, which I'm still gearing for. Going back to some of my progressions since the last time we spoke, chest supported T-bar row, I was doing 100 pounds for 12 and 10. As of now, I'm doing 155 for 7 and 6. Pretty gangster as well. And also another thing to mention on that, I actually do chest supported rows later in the order than I used to do them. I'm doing Romanian deadlifts before them. I'm doing curls before them and everything like that. And they're still doing that much better. So that's pretty awesome. Exercise order does play a part in a lot of things, but I'll touch on that in another video. The chest expander back then, I was doing 72 pounds for 10 and 90 pounds for 13. That was an all-time rep PR for me. I actually worked all the way up to doing 6 springs on the Robert Barabin chest expander from handgripper.net, which I've extensively reviewed on this channel. I've gotten up to 132 6 springs for 15 reps standing, but as of late, I'm doing them on an inclined bench to make it more difficult. And I'm doing 5 springs, which is 110 pounds for 2 sets of 15. So I think that's drastically better. Hack squats. I know they're not related to arms, but I was just surprised at the fucking difference. I went from 200 pounds for 10 and 10 to 310 pounds for 7 now. So that's awesome. And my control on them is better. The way I do them is better. Everything about that's better. So that's cool. So in short, did I progress since the last time we spoke? Yes and no. My biceps have definitely grown. They're definitely better than they were before, but my triceps are severely lagging just because of the injuries that I've incurred. Not only did I run into that stupid injury with my triceps back in this June, but back in May, right around my birthday when I turned 30, I thought I was having a stroke. I had a lot of nerve impingements down my left arm, which was actually drastically impacting my bench because earlier in the year I had hit 100-pound dumbbells on bench press, but I started to lose motor control of my left arm, which is quite frightening when you have 100 pounds dangling over your face. So all of that to say, I think I'm doing pretty well given the conditions that I've got. I'm learning how to work with the conditions I've got, and I'm just moving forward from here. So although it is taking longer to recover than I had ever expected, I'm learning a lot about patience and learning a lot about myself as a lifter. And I think that's invaluable. And given the fact that I'm only 30, it can only get better from here into my 30s and 40s. So what's going to be different going forward is I'm going to be prioritizing listening to my body more often. I'm going to be a lot more proactive rather than reactive. And part of that proactive versus reactive part has been to incorporate a deload more frequently. For the past 20 weeks, I've done a deload every 4th week of my program, so I'll do 3 on, 1 off. And the deload principles that I use are from my prior coach, Faz Lifts, who's fucking amazing. And I'll cover his deload principles in another video as well, because I think that deserves its own video in itself. It's actually awesome. But for the future workout programs that I will be running, because I just wrote a new workout program, which you could check out on Boost Camp. I'm putting it down in the link below so that you can actually follow along with it, look at the program for whatever it is or whatever you want to do. If you feel like you're in a similar boat to me, you can do it completely free. But I'm going to be doing a deload after every 8th week. So on the 9th week, we're going to try to push it out a little bit because I feel like I've gotten away with doing the way I've been doing it, and I feel like I can kind of push it a little bit further. And another thing that's going to be different going forward is I'm not afraid to switch exercises as much. In the past, I was so worried about like deviating from an exercise. For instance, in this program, I went from regular bicep curls to bicep blaster curls, and that was a monumental difference. I was starting to get a lot of shoulder activation and stuff like that when I was curling the 50s free, whereas when I lock in on the bicep blaster, it totally eliminated my shoulder and it gave me all my biceps. So I couldn't be more happy than that. But in conclusion, things are going to happen. You might get hurt throughout your lifting experience. It might derail you, make you feel unmotivated, or it can allow you to grow and learn. And ultimately, that's what I'm choosing to do out of all of these experiences that I've had. So that's that. Remember, don't be afraid to experiment, but also don't be distracted by changing things up so much that you never actually grow in any one department. And that's that. That's all I got for you today. If you have anything, you have questions, comments, or concerns, or anything like that for me, you can feel free to drop any comments down below. I'd be happy to answer any and all comments, and I'll talk to you soon.